Kamp sur PUREchannel. Thank you very much, guys, for coming on PUREchannel. Tomek, Radik, Michael, and Barak.
Bartek.
You're playing tonight in Europavox. We are in the room where you're gonna play. You just did the sound check. I was wondering how to describe your music when I prepared this, and it's a very clever mix in between. Well, we could say it's electro, to sum up. But then you add some clubbing rhythmics, and there's also very pop, 80s pop feeling with the voices. How did you all met and mix up for like finishing having this sound? Was it natural for you all to create that mixture?
Good question. It's natural for us because we wanted to play such music, so we mix all together. As you said, club and pop music, and that's the mixture, and that's our music. We feel it, and yeah.
Well, we also love 70s stuff, disco stuff, and something more modern than 80s, so Daft Punk style and.
The Crusader could be more Daft Punk song. And then there are
the use of the vocal.
Yeah, for the vocoder and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's right. You have it right.
But then you have also very 80s sound. Not the whole song, but some guitar riffs, some keyboards. On Eats, there are, of course, on the Distance of the Modern Hearts. Also, there are a riff of keyboards and the bass. Did you have a passion for the sound of the 80s? Because you do it in the modern way, but it's an homage all along.
It's like we were all born in the 80s. It's the decade when we grew up, and the music we've listened to as kids, as teenagers, as we were young. And to be honest, it's like it was a very good decade for disco music, and it was the decade when punk rock was born. So all the feelings of the new wave sounds and the vocals with huge reverbs and so on, the huge snares.
Yeah, the snare reverb is something you use a lot, and good.
It will always make your feet work. That's the truth, and maybe that's the way we like it.
It's the rhythmic secret of Kamp, having a kick on every time and that huge reverb on the snare.
That's our secret.
It's quite easy.
You just do that and boom, that's done. No, seriously, in France, the 80s music now is coming back, as if music was always a cycle. But you know, the musician. Sorry?
That's why we are here.
Yeah, maybe that's why you're here. But yeah, that's the point. The French musician, where using the 80s keyboards was like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
They were not assuming to do that. You seem to assume it perfectly, and that's why it looks natural and it works.
Maybe it's because, thank you very much, it's a huge compliment, because we all appreciate French electro scene, which really developed the sound of the 80s flavors and so on. But it's like we are not just producers and DJs that mix the sound together. We try to make it as a band, and maybe that's why it sounds more natural, maybe as a band developing the sound. So. Yeah, so that's the way it is.
The French scene influence us, breakbot and anorak and justice and all that stuff. Alan Branks, and a guy from.
Jean-Michel Jarre, did you listen to Jean-Michel Jarre?
love Jean-Michel Jarre.
Really, for real, there are moments of your songs where the keyboards are opening, and it could be like, now you need to play it with lights also, as you used to do.
Lasers.
No, but there's also, as you said, you can hear you playing all together instruments, not DJs. And of course, there's a very pop voice also. Pop is a compliment for me, very melodic and dynamic voice. Is it also one of your sound signature, that very almost punk? You said the 80s was a mixture of disco and punk. You mix it also in your songs.
So the main thing is what we want to do is to make good songs, and then when we have a song, when we have the melodies and so on, then we just try to make another, so to build up the whole song. But the secret is to make a good chorus, to make a good bridge and so on. Yeah. So What was the question actually?
I don't know, but you answered that one. Well,
The main thing is to write good songs, and then it's the packaging. So the packaging, the funky bass line or the vintage disco synthesizers from the 80s. It's just a detail that comes after the song.
you start
so
composing.
if we have a good song, so we can start producing it, and then we try to pick up proper synthesizers, proper bass, and so on. So.
You could start the song only with the voice guitar or voice piano or stuff like that.
Actually, we could do it only with a guitar or a piano, but
I think piano is the most important, stuff.
The last question is about, you said when you have a good song you produce it and do the packaging. I think you also take the time and for instance the verses, the chorus, they come back after sometimes 2 minutes of music. It's a very progressive music. Is it something else you really work for, taking your time to express your
It's about getting the right tension in the song, and we really like long songs. Although we always think, guys, let's make a single, let's make it last only 3 minutes. But then our most popular songs last 9 minutes. And it's a single. Yeah, that's funny that the song that has 9 minutes has a single. Then we made a radio edit, but it's like the progressive. We don't want to sound progressive. It's not our, it's not in our schedule.
Come from us, so that's why.
There's always lacking.
So long.
Yeah, sorry. There's always something lacking. We made a verse, then we made a chorus, and then we think, all right, guys, but we need to build up something that the verse comes and everyone knows it's a verse. Yeah, it's
something
funny.
from club music, and so build-ups and easing the tension. So that's why it appears in our songs.
Then does it give you some time to improvise also on stage?
yeah.
Yes, some.
Actually, yes, we have some moments. We can't improvise all the time because it's pop music, it's electronic music. And we are bad musicians. Actually, we are not professionals, so we can't improvise all the time. But we have some moments we can improvise, but it's not jazz music. So.
Thank you very much, guys. There's the single. It's Tales 1. It's an EP, and in the fall there will be maybe a new record around our term of Kamp. Thank you very much, Tomek, Radik, Michael, and Barak.
Barack Obama. Yeah, it's a cool music analyze. Thank you.
Yeah.
You were very prepared.